All right, y'all, it's Tuesday night. You know what that means. This is the Go Big edition of Post to Post Wrestling Podcast. I'm going to pick up Weatherman by my fucking nipples on some chains and swing them around. I'm going big tonight, baby. What the fuck's going on, boys?
I'm worried we're going to get sued now.
What, I can't say go big?
Probably not. You know how quick corporate America is to trademark even the most mundane phrase.
Bullshit. I will go big whatever the fuck I want. What's that?
I don't want you picking me up by your nipples, and with Blue Chew, you can go big anytime.
Oh no, it's Azul Chew.
Yeah, we don't do anything with Blue Chew.
It's Azul Masticate.
Or with their turquoise chiclets.
Turquoise Masticate. All right, we are back for another episode, Post to Post Wrestling. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone who likes fucking wrestling to listen to our podcast. I believe we got some new listeners out there. I know I got a couple more of my friends out here to listen, and I've been promoting the shit out of the show. So for any new listeners, we're sorry in advance. This is going to be the worst hour and a half of your life.
Oh, no. It'll be fun. Compared to the past couple weeks, this week's pretty tame across the board, really, news-wise. It's all, like, basic shit. I mean, the biggest stuff, honestly, is coming out of the WWE over the past week.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd say the biggest news point over the past couple days are the confirmations that a few people have come down with Big Rona. And then the biggest part of all that is WWE actually admitting directly that, and announcing directly, that one of their stars, a la Drew McIntyre, has tested positive. They don't do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, they had him on the show this week. Like, it was serious enough that they flew Triple H down there, and he actually got in the ring with Randy Orton, and they had a challenge. It wasn't even a match. It was just a challenge where they started beating the shit out of each other, and then Alexa Bliss showed up, and how did you say it, Weatherman?
She sent Randy Orton up like the challenger.
Damn!
Oh.
I remember
just like
that.
Fournette did Ronnie Garvin.
Oh,
Except his fireball was real. This one wasn't CGI'd.
Yeah, this one was definitely CGI.
And I you were telling us earlier, John, about because it was CGI and you were in Thunderdome as per usual. I'm surprised they don't just have like a reserve for Drummer John banner on one of the.
No, but I'm gonna get on my fucking soapbox about that in a second. But yeah, you could definitely tell that it was pre-recorded because during the match, Randy Orton got his cheek busted open by Triple H. And when he got hit with the fireball, there was no cut on his cheek. And then Triple H had blood on his head during the match from Randy Orton's head. But when his sledgehammer was on fire, there was no blood on his head. So it was very clearly pre-recorded.
I think I know why you're mad, John. Because
Why?
The Juggalo guy was in the front row about all night long. Whenever I'd flip back and forth.
I gives a fuck about a Juggalo. But when they use the same fucking guy in the same fucking outfit, doing the same fucking facial movements for the last 5 fucking shows, and I put up video fucking proof of this on our Facebook page. This fucking Josh Gad looking motherfucker who's on this, and they always fucking put him in the prime seats. And he's always wearing the same shit. It's like, okay, we know that you said you're doing shit with NXT where you're using pre-recorded images. It's in our waiver and all that shit. But you're sitting here promoting live interaction during Raw and SmackDown, and yet you're clearly using pre-recorded fucking footage when you got fucking people like me who take the time out of my fucking week to register. I got an alarm set on my fucking phone for this shit so I can register for this fucking thing to be a part of your fucking universe, And you don't fucking put me anywhere that I can get seen half the fucking time, but you use these same fucking moke jabronis every fucking week. And the motherfuckers don't change their clothes. At least I fucking change my clothes.
Fucking
Motherfucker.
Luke-ass
I'm wearing WWE fucking merchandise. I got my fucking Bray Wyatt orange fucking tank top on. Yesterday I was wearing my fucking WrestleMania shirt from the New York, New Jersey WrestleMania. Fucking, you know, I'm rocking their fucking gear, and they take some fucking jackass in a fucking plaid shirt with a blue t-shirt underneath and keep putting them on there. It's like, come on, man. I actually got notification this week from NXT. They are going to be changing the format of how they do NXT and not relying so much on pre-recorded footage, and they're going to have live people in the Capitol Wrestling Center.
Very nice.
I'm on the way. They'll probably fuck me. That's okay, though.
This is kind of going off of wrestling, but you know, he's talking about the Thunderdome, the waiting list, and all that. It reminded me of when I was watching a documentary on The Price is Right. When you go to The Price is Right, you get interviewed by the producer, and based on that interview, determines who gets selected on Contestants Row.
Yep. So, what else we got in fucking... Okay, so on...
Here's my favorite WWE thing that you brought up in the pre-show planning. Keith Lee broke a damn ring.
Yeah, he did. So, during... Keith Lee and Sheamus had a match against The Miz and Morrison. Miz and Morrison were egging him on, so they agreed to a match. At one point, Keith Lee took fucking John Morrison and threw him into the corner, and Morrison came up off his feet, so all his weight was on the top turnbuckle, and the fucking top ring rope broke. Fucking came undone, and Keith Lee's face, like, this shit was real. Like, he was like, whoa! And they cut the fucking commercial so they could repair the ring, and when they came back for the commercial, you could see the ring guy in the corner with the fucking wrench tightening the goddamn ring ropes back up.
It makes me wonder if Keith Lee is that sort of strong, which leads me also to wonder if Morrison's back is that sort of strong as well. But moreover, did they just do a shitty job setting up the ring?
I think it may have been a combination of all three. I don't think the top ring rope was tight enough. I think Keith Lee is strong as shit, and I think that the way that Morrison hit it, coming off his feet and all of his weight pushing against that top turnbuckle, that's what did it.
Makes sense.
If you watch the footage of it, you'll see, like, he fucking wails him into the corner, and he comes off his feet, and all his weight is in that fucking turnbuckle.
Gotcha. Huh.
And then after the match, Sheamus and Keith Lee win, and then they have a match against each other. So they pulled double duties. Matt Riddle pulled double duty because Matt Riddle lost to Bobby Lashley, and then he wanted a match against MVP, and he wound up getting jumped by Lashley during that match, which makes a lot of people believe that Matt Riddle did not sign a new contract with WWE because this is 2 weeks in a row he's lost on Raw, and that's never a good sign. So there are people out there speculating, and I don't know how fucking true it is.
Well, I mean, we speculate too, so I mean, who knows? I feel like WWE likes him way too much, so I highly doubt it. But at the same time, unless maybe he just kind of did something backstage that rubbed them the wrong way, you know, they're that kind of petty, and this is just his slap on the wrist type moment. I really don't think there's too much dirt to go against the news from late last year where we reported that he had re-signed. So I'm thinking it's more along the lines of either one, it's just storyline and they're mixing things up, trying to throw us off the scent, or two, he did an oopsie backstage and they're slapping him on the wrist.
It's possible. I mean, they invested a lot of time in helping him out with his legal shit and whatnot. So,
But speaking of unsigned folk, rumor has it that Ricochet has, as of yet, to sign anything. And personally, I'm hoping he doesn't, and he dips the fuck out.
Well, they've offered him, the word is that they offered him a new contract. He refused to sign. And that's why he wasn't on Raw this week. They've been using him on Main Event, and I've been seeing him on Main Event for the last couple of weeks because they pre-tape it before Raw, and I'm in the Thunderdome for that shit too. So I get to see all that stuff. But yeah, it's possible that he might not be re-signing.
If he doesn't re-sign, where do we think he's most likely to go? Yeah, all right.
I don't see him going to AEW.
I don't either. As much as I would like it, I also don't know how they would really fit him in.
Mm-hmm. I could see him going to Impact and running their fucking X division. I could see him going to Ring of Honor, or I could see him going to New Japan.
I'd like to see him back in New Japan, honestly. So most likely, I would see him going Ring of Honor.
I don't think they're doing enough right now to.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going with people doing enough, it would have to go between Impact and AEW, but. Again, we've already mentioned AEW doesn't seem like the right fit, so Impact would probably be best, and you'd probably still get to do some cross-promo stuff with AEW if they play that up the right way. But
AEW or WWE is not in hoarding talent mode anymore. For the last year, they've been re-signing people, even people that they don't want, just so they won't go to AEW. But they're beyond that now. They're done with that shit. They're not trying to hoard talent anymore and sign them to big ass deals so they won't go to AEW.
Yeah, but I want to see Ricochet back in New Japan because watching him in New Japan was great. Mm-hmm. And I would love to see classic New Japan Ricochet go up against New Ospreay.
Ooh,
it'd be a hell of a match. So give us some updates on the newly announced people going into the Rumble, John.
Well, most of them are going to be the women. Oh, another thing that happened this week while I'm looking for this, they started a romantic angle with Ric Flair and Lacey Evans, which I think is pretty goddamn funny, especially since they've already played up Lacey Evans' storyline with her daughter, Lacey Evans being married, and now they're going to throw her in a romantic angle with Ric Flair, and he turned on Charlotte. So there's also talk of, there's not talk, Andrade put a little thing out there saying that he might be returning to help out Charlotte since they are engaged.
Oldest ride, longest line.
So in the men's rumble so far, we've got Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Otis. Drew Gulak tried to insert himself this week, but that didn't happen. Adam Pearce put him in a match against AJ Styles, and AJ Styles beat the shit out of him. In the women's Royal Rumble, you got Bayley, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose. Other matches already booked on the card are Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg, which is going to be interesting to see how they're going to promote it without Drew McIntyre being there. He did video clips this week from his home, and I guess they're doing it again next week from what they promoted this week. And then we also have a Universal title match with Roman Reigns versus Adam Pearce. So, for anybody who's been watching WWE programming lately, you see Adam Pearce. He's the WWE official with the bald head. What people might not know about Adam Pearce is he's a 5-time NWA champion. Yeah, he's got a career. He's got a background. They actually brought it up on SmackDown.
He was the former booker for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but they brought it. He hasn't had a match in 6 years. He's been retired for 6 years. They brought him. Kevin Owens had a little storyline with him on Friday where he's talking about, you know me, you used to be my boss back in the Ring of Honor days, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they got him in a match with Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. So interesting to see how that's going to turn out. Yeah, I don't know what to think of it. But that's what we got for the Royal Rumble, January 31st. We still got a couple of weeks for them to build more matches and make our predictions on who's doing what. Kofi Kingston is injured, so he's got a broken jaw supposedly. We have new SmackDown champions. Team by the name of the Dirty Dogs beat the Street Profits this week. The Dirty Dogs are Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
I'm for it.
They are the new tag team champions over on SmackDown.
I'm surprised it took this long for them to get the belts off the Street Profits, to be totally honest.
Mm-hmm. They played up an injury angle with Montez Ford, with his leg being injured the week prior from an attack from Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And they used that. So that's what's going on there. Apollo Crews and Big E went at it for the Intercontinental belt, and there was a double pinfall situation where both their shoulders were down. They were going back and forth, and Apollo Crews smacked the shit out of Big E. And Big E's like, ring the bell, start the match. And they restarted the match, and he just beat the shit out of Apollo. It's pretty bad. And that's about it from the world of WWE. Not a whole hell of a lot else going on.
I think the last thing before you shut it down prematurely, you wanted to talk about the launch event for WWE India.
Oh, yeah, the Superstar Spectacle. So, this thing's going to take place on the 26th of January. It's going to be on WWE Network. It's going to be on Sony TV out in India and stuff like that. But they're in the commercials. They are showing Indian talent like Jinder Mahal, Kavita Delhi, I think is her name. She's a NXT talent, or Kavita Devi. Then tag teams like the Bollywood Boys and Indus Sher, and then a bunch of other NXT signees that they picked up. But they're about to launch WWE India, or NXT India, or whatever the hell it's called. So this show is supposed to be that thing. Hopefully, it's going to be better than their friggin' Saudi Arabia shows. And I friggin' hope so.
Fingers crossed.
And I guess January 26th is also a holiday in India, Republic Day. Yeah, they're launching a new brand. WWE India, and that's how they're launching it.
Fair enough. Jabrona Mania on its way.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, because the last time they did something big in India, they used Jinder Mahal, who was a heel at the time. They did that thing over there in India where they promoted him as a face, and he wrestled as a face, and he went over fucking huge.
Oh, I know. I remember all that mess. That was I forget where I heard that. It wasn't through you on the show. It was through something else.
It was before I joined the show that event happened.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember either reading about it or I heard about it on Talk Is Jericho. That's where it was, and they were like, "Holy shit, he's fucking huge here!" All of a sudden, but they were really surprised about the market. It was real strange.
4 billion people.
Yeah,
it's a market.
it is a market, no doubt. So where do we want to head next? Who wants to?
We'll keep it stateside. Keep it stateside. We'll do AEW.
Okay.
Ring of Honor, and well, there ain't shit for Ring of Honor other than Dalton Castle. Hey, here's your Ring of Honor news this week. Dalton Castle is a free agent. Where would we like to see him land? AEW.
Yep, he's one of the prospects. Also, free agent and part of the rumor mill of who might be courted by AEW alongside Dalton Castle. Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, well, there are people within AEW that are pushing for her to get signed. People within AEW want her in AEW, but I don't think she's going anywhere without her husband, who is Daga, for anybody who doesn't know. So, I have no idea.
It's
Bad attitude. She's a talent, but just fuck that snobby shit.
Yeah. My main issue comes from all that blowback from her and some comments from a few years ago, but those notwithstanding, she would be a good get for the women's division.
Yeah.
But
she'd probably quit if she didn't get the title in her first match.
Possibly. You're not wrong. Is she kind of a crybaby bitch?
We talked about Dalton Castle a minute ago and how we'd love to see him in AEW. Well, on AEW Dark tonight, I watched it earlier, they had a tag team of Casey Navarro, who was in the Super X Cup over in Impact, and a guy named El Australiano. These two would be perfect to be Dalton Castle's new boys. Like, they fit the role. They're effeminate and petite and high flyers. The friggin' El Australiano has tinsel for his trunks. Like, his trunks are covered in tinsel. It's fucking crazy. Never seen trunks like that. Taz was going off about it. And I gotta say, I love Taz and Excalibur on Dark.
Oh, man.
I love their commentary. Kills me.
They're honestly, they are just riffing the whole time. They are making fun of fucking everything.
And it's hysterical. I fucking love it so much. I was watching Dark with my wife the other day from last week, and she hadn't watched Dark in a while. She's listening to Taz and Excalibur talk, and she's like, what the fuck am I listening to? I'm like, awesomeness. It's great.
It's great. They just bullshit the entire time. It's beautiful. Let's see. What do I think? Well, let's do it this way. Going off of some of our big stuff from previous weeks, and Brody Lee Jr. getting his contract. Apparently, like, more info from that contract's been kind of released, and basically, if you can correct me if I don't say it all correctly, John, because I'm going to go based off what I remember you saying from before. Pretty much, it doesn't go into effect until he hits 18, and only if he decides to go into professional wrestling at that time, and if AEW is still in existence. But if all of those boxes are checked, then he's in there like swimwear.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking earlier in the pre-show about how cool would it be if this young man comes back after he turns 18. He's already been training with other superstars. He recently released video of him training with Natalia, Liv Morgan, and Natalia's husband, Tyson Kidd. But, they retired the red belt with Brody Lee, saying that he's champion for life, so on and so forth. How cool would a storyline be of him coming back in 10 years with that belt, and if the TNT title is still in existence in AEW, challenging to unify those two belts? I'm like, dude, that would be so cool.
That would be an incredibly long format build, but it would be a nice callback.
18 years or 10 years.
I know. It'd be a pretty sweet callback.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, the closest thing we've had to that in recent memory is Sami Zayn coming back with his Intercontinental belt and saying he never lost it. And that was just a few months. Isn't Sami Zayn also one of the ones that's not re-signing? Possibly?
His name has come up as possibly not re-signing. He's another one that they're afraid to give a microphone to. They do, but they get a little skeptical. Mustafa Ali is the other one. They don't like giving him a microphone. They're saying they can't trust him with a microphone. But
I know a few places I'd like to see Sammy show up, and I'm sure Grayson's right there with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he has to come
they
back.
squandered the talent that is El Generico.
I know.
I was gonna say he has to come back as El Generico.
No, he has to do both. I think he should do a Mick Foley and wrestle as both Sami Zayn and El Generico.
They gave a shout out to El Generico on Dark last week. Somebody did a Blue Thunder bomb, and Taz gave a shout out to El Generico.
Very
Could be
nice.
planting the seed.
Could be nice.
Es posible.
Because all these little subtle references that we've been catching slowly.
I know. They are all about peppering in references. I mean, shit, they're talking about New Japan all the fucking time now. But to really dial it back into Dark, another one of our, well, at least I'd say 3 of our favorite. Maybe not so much Weatherman, but Chris Statlander is popping up on. I saw her on BTE, so I'm assuming pretty soon she'll probably start popping up on Dark and make her return to the ring after their long injury.
Yeah, Chris Statlander. They're saying that she can be back any time now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wonder what
she
they're
was
gonna
on.
do with her. I wonder if they're gonna put her back with the semi-Orange Cassidy love story, because I think they're gonna end up putting Homeboy with Rusev as a pawn until Chucky T comes, or Sexy.
Well,
Trent
she
comes
did
back.
try to abduct Griff Garrison on BTE this week. If that's of anything that could help our speculations.
No one wants Greg Garrison.
Actually, Pretty Peter Avalon wants him in a bad way. He's like on Dark, so enamored with him.
Oh yeah, his symmetrical face and everything.
Well, that Luther has the most symmetrical face,
Oh,
but
yes.
Pretty Peter Avalon is loving him some Griff Garrison. This is fucking sad that we're talking more about Dark than we are about Dynamite. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like,
Well,
you know,
Dark's got some
the
fun.
highlight of fucking Dynamite this week was watching fucking Snoop Dogg botch a fucking top rope frog splash.
Well, it only took him 10 minutes to climb to the top.
Yeah, and then he tells him to move him closer when he shouldn't have been closer. Dude was fine where he was at, but because he came so close, his Snoop Dogg basically jumped down, landed on his feet, and then went ass up on top of friggin' who the hell was it? Serpentico, yeah.
How old is he now?
Snoop Dogg, he's got to be in his 60s.
No, hell no. He's younger than me.
He ain't got a lot of cushion there to land on, so I kind of can understand it.
He's 49.
Yeah, so he's right around my age. I knew he was close to my age.
I don't
I
know
was
why I
doing
thought
one
he
to
was
two
much older than that.
Okay, are we still talking about Snoop?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I don't have a problem with his dive itself per se. As I mentioned earlier off show, that fucking landing and him just like on his knees, like ass up, was really awkward because he just stayed there for like, I don't know, it felt like 10 seconds. It's like
Way too long.
weird, and I'm just like, what's going on right now? Is he like, did he get hurt? And he can't bend? So, I don't know. It's just, it was an off-putting sight.
We did see
All after I
Every
watched his New Year's Eve show.
we did see every member of the Dark Order on Dark this week. John Silver was not wearing his Brody Lee tights.
I believe we mentioned last week that he was probably as a one and done, and that he was retiring them after that.
Yeah, he said he was probably going to retire it.
Yeah, can confirm. He went back to the trunks. Those two had a tag match, and then they had a 10-man tag team match with Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Colt Cabana, 5 and 10 versus a bunch of jabronis. And then what's her face? Anna Jay had a match, and Tay Conti had a match, and she was rocking a Brody Lee shirt throughout the match as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know tomorrow night, her going up against Serena Deeb should be a pretty good match.
Yeah, and it's got me wondering if Deeb is going to drop the belt to her.
Did you watch the Road to Holiday Bash mini YouTube video today?
I did not.
Well, it was like a 15-minute long video full of just promos and vignettes and like build-ups for the show. And the whole time, it was just like Serena Deeb, etc., talking up Tay Conti. And also, pulling the classic, I'm going to win because, this is what I do type of deal. But she did nothing but talk her up. And every other person did too. So,
interesting.
I'm wondering what kind of rub she's going to get. But they
like belting ex-WWE. And she is ex-WWE. She was NXT. They actually teased her for a minute of being a part of the Undisputed Era.
Mm-hmm.
They used her in that storyline a while back and teased it. So I don't know. I got a feeling that they might belt her.
They could. So I know we're going to I'm going to definitely dig into it for everybody on this next little topic here. I'll get in touch with our boy Eric, who some of you may remember from being on the show a couple times in the past.
Aranya.
Yes, the spider.
Aranya.
But we'll get in touch with him because apparently there's some snafu business with Ray Phoenix and his moniker that may require him to pull a name change, kind of like Penta did recently.
Yeah, because apparently there was a trademark done for Phoenix back in 2017 with the Mexican promotion, and Ray Phoenix agreed to it. Mm-hmm. So the possibility of him having to change his name it's up there now.
Yeah.
So what would he change it to?
I don't know. Is it just the Phoenix portion of the name that is?
Yes, that's in the article I read. That was the biggest thing, was the Phoenix portion.
Can't they just do like they always do in Lucha Libre and just slap Junior at the end of it and call it a day?
Possibly.
Because Penta's gone as Pentagon Junior, Penta El Cero M, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. So
it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him.
Nice.
I love it.
But literally in the article, it just talked about what you said. Lucha Libre FMV is owned by AAA and Factory Made Ventures. Even his brother Pentagon Jr. had to change his name to Penta El Cero M due to AAA owning the trademarks to the name Pentagon Jr. Mm-hmm. So we may see a new Ray Phoenix name.
Who knows? We shall see. All I know is get on those AEW figures before they change the box.
I got mine.
Mine are back ordered until the middle of next month, so at least I got Wave 3.
Yeah, you do. I'm fucking jealous as shit about that.
They're pretty.
I showed I showed my daughter that Orange Cassidy figure, and she's like, "I want one." I'm like, "Yeah, I want one too."
That's a good one. But other news from AEW, some quick ones. Apparently, we get to say congrats to Matt Hardy on child number 4 that's soon to be.
He's having a girl. He's having a baby girl this time. He's got 3 boys, and they'll be adding a little girl to House Hardy.
Oh man, building a dynasty in and of itself. And then the big one, I guess, or something more down Grayson's alley, AEW's video game release date is not looking so solid for a 2021 release.
No, it's probably gonna be 2022. I watched the AEW Games second show. I highly doubt if all they had to show in December was that one little, you know my thoughts.
Teaser trailer.
Cheeser trailer.
No, fair enough.
It did not look great to me, so it needs a lot of polish just based on that one CG clip, which isn't even gameplay, so you can't even take it as that's what it'll be. But based on that video of just kind of that clip, there's gotta be a lot of work left, and all the features that they've advertised or they're kind of hyping up. It's I would say at best, unless they've been working on this for a long time and that was just sort of here's a teaser because we feel like you need to have one, but we've actually really far in, mid 2022 or holiday.
I would be more comfortable with pushing it out. I want a good wrestling game again. The last one I tried to play was probably like maybe 2K18 or 19, and I thought it was a fucking dumpster fire then because I hate their control schemes. And then they released 2K20, and it was probably the worst wrestling game that's ever come out.
Oh, I refuse to play 2K20. That
Ever.
That game's not even worth me just getting it for free. I probably wouldn't.
It's fucking horrible.
I wouldn't piss on if it was on fire.
It's so bad.
Save my game. Nah.
I saved you from your game.
I'm glad they finally made the call to wait a year to make it not suck.
Yeah. I'm hoping for good things if we're lucky, and it releases at a time where it can really, really push the WWE release for that year, and you have a nice competitive holiday release. I would like to see that.
You know damn well it's not going to be a competitive holiday release because everybody's going to buy both.
That's kind of what competition does. If you're making sales, even though you're buying both, you're still hyping each other. That fact that there's competition, people are going to buy both of them. They're not just going to buy one and ignore the other.
Oh, I'm ignoring the other one unless the reviews come back at least an 8.5.
That's fair. I might give it as low as a 7.5, depending on the situation.
No, they've tarnished any goodwill I will give them. They need an 8.5 for me to even consider it. If it gets a 9, I'll wait 2 months and buy it at $30. If it's a 10, I'll get it on release day. Or not release day, but
any attention to that shit at all. I don't care what the ratings are. If I want to buy it, I buy it. If I don't want to buy it, I don't buy it. If it sucks,
for this game and their history, it's warranted. Mm-hmm. I'm usually the same.
So, other AEW stuff. Apparently, people were talking about Colt Cabana and his contracts and New Japan and all that good stuff. So, apparently, inside of Colt's contract, it says he can work for New Japan. So, other than him having some hiccups due to COVID causing all the restrictions this year, him not getting to perform over there maybe sometime soon we'll get to see Colt do some fun times in New Japan, and secretly John wants Colt to take his brand of comedy and destroy Yano's brand of comedy.
There's no secretly about it. That's what I want to fucking happen. I want Colt Cabana to go over there and fucking shove his elbow up Yano's ass.
See, when John says that, that's John imagining that he is Colt Cabana by proxy. Colt is living out all of John's fantasies.
If that means I get to beat the shit out of Yano, absolutely.
They're not from an aggressive standpoint. They're from a sexual and loving standpoint.
You know, I sit here on this show and I say, you know, realistically, this guy would beat my ass, but I would probably take a swing at Yano. That's how much I don't like him.
so if you had your old job and you were at the airport, you saw Yano at the airport, what would you do?
I don't know. I might take a swing at him. I might flip him off. I might spit at him. I don't know. I've done some pretty fucked up stuff when I'm pissed off. So I mean, you never know what you're gonna get out of me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so T-Bar from Retribution called out some little teenage virgin on AEW for stealing his finisher. The little teenage virgin on AEW in question is Sammy Guevara.
Really?
And they are firing shots back and forth at each other on fucking Twitter about it, even to the point where T-Bar dragged Sammy Guevara over that whole Sasha Banks rape joke while calling him out for the moveset.
Look, man.
Dax Hardwood even calls Sammy Guevara an idiot.
Look, man, all I can say is if your fucking claim to fame right now is wearing a paper mask, you lose.
No, that's not T-Bar. That's the other guy.
Which one's he?
That's Slapnuts is the one that looks like he took a plate from catering and just cut holes in it.
Okay, I thought that was T-Bar. Okay.
No,
I can't get them. I can't get them right because they're never on TV.
Oh.
T-Bar says, I thought this was funny too. He's like, I thought of stealing a move back from him, but his whole moveset is ricochets.
Damn.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh boy. Well, let's put it this way. Sammy isn't good enough on the mic to be able to go back and forth. And I don't really think the T-Bar guy is good enough either. But Sammy definitely has his work cut out for him if he's going to get into a fucking flame war with somebody. Let's put it that way.
Oh, FTR changed the name of their finisher.
Oh?
It is no longer the Goodnight Express. It is now called the Big Rig. After Brody Lee. Because Brody Lee used to be Big Rig.
I think they could have gone Big Rig Express. Combine the two.
No, I just like Big Rig. And
Big
it's
Rig's
suiting
good.
for them.
Big Rig's good. That's nice. I like it. Now, I will say on Talk is Jericho recently, when he did his follow-up for the thing, they definitely got real misty and choked up when they were talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they were pretty damn tight. But, so last little bit of AEW news. We all know, we've talked about it many, many times in the past, how the Good Brothers, our boys, Gallows and Anderson, were originally, slotted to come to AEW, but then they wound up signing contracts with Impact instead. Well,
no, they re-signed with WWE at the time.
Well, I mean, we'll gloss over that massive mistake on their part. We'll ignore that because they didn't do anything.
Well, they re-signed for a lot of friggin' money and then wound up getting cut.
But they didn't fucking do anything. So that
if we're gonna report it, we gotta report it historically. Journalistic
integrity.
integrity.
But
journalistic integrity.
All right, it existed. Okay, there we go. But let's go with the more important part. Fuck that period of time because it was stupid and WWE squandered them yet again. And then after they left, instead of going into AEW, they went to Impact. Okay, well, they showed up on Dynamite last week and stomped a mud hole in Jon Moxley's ass.
Mm-hmm.
and then like kick the shit out of every person that ran into the ring. I think members of Private Party, fucking all sorts of people. Griff Garrison.
It was everyone from Dark. It was
everybody from Dark. They just manhandled them, kicked them in the face, etc., and so on. Like the only person that got a lick in, I think, was shit. Who punched Anderson in the mouth? Was it Mox? Or was it
Probably.
the other? No, it wasn't. Who did? Shit, I already forgot who Kenny wrestled.
Ray Phoenix.
I feel like maybe Phoenix punched Anderson in the mouth before he dipped out. Anywho, to get back to the business. Well, we all saw the Bullet Club reunion. The Bucks came out. The Bucks super kicked Matt super kicked Griff Garrison in the face when you thought he, the way they set it up, they all held, what's it?
Too Sweet?
Yeah, they did the Too Sweet, but before that, when they had it set up, where they were holding Dude Man to the ropes, and then instead, Matt helped the boys out instead of helping the face crew from Dark out. So
yeah.
We had our Too Sweets. And
another important thing about that is there's speculation about the health of Nick Jackson's leg.
Yeah, I know.
He
where
may
he
have a broken leg.
That fucking fucking 4 whatever the hell it is that Jack Evans does.
Yep.
Where he blocked it with his shins and fucking, whew. I saw it on BTE, had it iced down pretty good.
So they're worried about that, but that happened that night. But what happened at the end of Dynamite this week was supposedly the way that they initially planned the first episode of AEW Dynamite to end. The way that it ended this week with all of them in the ring, Bullet Club reunion, given the Too Sweet, supposedly.
And I would have fucking loved it if that had happened at the first episode of Dynamite, because I would have. It
also makes you question the validity of the Bucks saying that they were issued a cease and desist for doing Too Sweet.
I think probably what it is more than anything is Tony Khan probably said, "Hey, go ahead and fucking do it. I'll throw some money at that problem and make it go away."
There was somebody close to the Bucks saying that they might have embellished on that cease and desist a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case either. It makes for good television, but at the same time...
Sold a lot of fucking t-shirts. I bought one.
I did not, because I thought the t-shirt sucked. It was just... honestly, that t-shirt seemed like a cash grab to me at the time, and I wasn't going to get it. Honestly, like when it comes to Bullet Club t-shirts, I'm just buying the classic, whichever member it is, and their classic skull t-shirt. That's it. I would have loved to have seen that on night 1 of Dynamite, and it would have been an even more impressive Dynamite than it already was. But with that, and the Good Brothers coming over from Impact, we can go ahead and hop over to Impact, where Hard to Kill is going on. This weekend?
Yes, this is where they've got that main event with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers against Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep.
Is what we got going on. So
yeah, I'd say we could do, honestly, when it comes to predictions on this, we could do them pretty quickly. Like, so, Karate Man and Ethan Page.
Karate Man's winning.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a few days. It's definitely Karate Man. Grayson, are you in concurrence?
Oh, it's big Karate Man.
Fair play. So, in the main event there, Kenny and Company versus Rich Swann. Kenny and Company. Isn't that fucking Don Coscarelli movie? But anyway, versus Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm taking the Bullet Club boys.
Absolutely.
100%. Because, well, the only defense it needs is Kenny's going to be collecting belts. And Rich Swann has a belt, and Kenny wants belts.
Yep. they're setting that up for sure.
Mm-hmm. Grayson?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Unless there's like a shiesty thing to make it more of a long build, like he gets more obsessed with it. But I mean, it just that to me doesn't make sense for how it's playing out.
Yeah, for sure. Weatherman, I assume you are in agreement.
Yep.
Excellent. Then we've got the Barbed Wire Massacre. Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan. Thoughts?
Sami Callihan. He's got Ken Shamrock in his corner. They've been beating the shit out of Eddie Edwards for a while now.
For
I
me,
think it's gonna be Callihan.
I was going to go Sami Callihan because it's the only fucking name I recognize.
Eddie Edwards used to be half of the American Wolves, if you remember that tag team, with
No.
Davey Richards.
Uh-uh.
Davey Richards was married to Angelina Love, if you remember her.
I do not.
He quit
I
the
met-
wrestling.
remember Angelina
I
Love,
met
the
him at
beautiful people.
WrestleCade.
Yeah, she was a member of the Beautiful People. She still wrestles for Ring of Honor.
I saw her
she's
saw her at Starcast 1 with walking around with Velvet Sky for a minute.
Yep. Who is with
Very
Bully Ray. Yep.
Fair enough.
He
I
had the
met
buff with the lip.
Angelina Love when she was pregnant with Eddie's baby. They were
Davies.
both at WrestleCade together. Yeah, Davies. They were very nice people.
Good
Yeah,
to
Davey
know.
quit the wrestling business to go into a career in
Realty,
medicine.
I
He's
think.
doing something with
Oh,
medicine.
medicine. That's right.
Oh, that's cool.
David Kinzer is a realtor.
The Secret Lives of Wrestlers. Excellent. Next, you've got the Old School Rules 6-man tag match. Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Daring versus Cousin Jake, Rhino, and Tommy Dreamer. Who we got?
Eric Young and his little posse. This Joe Doring guy that he's got with him, this guy is he is a classic country wrestler looking dude. Big like Barry Windham, wears the wrestling boots, has the cowboy hat, blackjack mulligan-esque. He's just a big fucking hoss, dude. Cody Diener, they cut his fucking hair off. He looks like somebody you'd see at a fucking Descendants concert circa 1982. And Eric Young is the fucking man. I've loved that man for fucking ever. So, yeah, that's who I think is taking it.
I would have to agree because just pretty much this is my thought. Tommy Dreamer's on the team. He's just there to make people look good. Yep. So that's a dead giveaway.
Squad.
Yeah. And Rhino. Meh.
Rhino
Meh.
used to be great.
Yeah, used to be.
Still got it, but
Gore!
the amount of
Gore!
intensity I have when you see him come out is faded. It used to be, yeah, Rhino's gonna fuck some shit up, but now it's like, oh, don't hurt yourself.
Oh, Rhino's running for local congressman, or whatever the hell he was going for. He was just getting into politics there for a minute.
All right. So next we got the Impact's Knockout Tag Championship. Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Havoc and Nevaeh.
Yeah, they've really been pushing for Tasha Steelz and Kira Hogan to get those belts. Like, they have been pushing for it, which is why I'm going Havoc and Nevaeh.
Okay. So you're thinking they're hyping it so hard it's almost a misdirect?
Havoc is as big as both of those women put together. And
That-
I'm not trying to be derogatory on her. She's a sexy big woman. But the fact of the matter is she dwarfs those women in size.
Fair enough. I'll allow it.
So unless they book her like Nia Jax and have her losing to fucking Sasha Banks and Bayley and shit, she should fucking squash the shit out of them.
I will say the Nia Jax Bayley match from NXT was a choice when she won like with the sleeper or something like that.
Yeah, where she had to choke out Nia.
Yeah, that was actually a choice match.
That one has a believable finish.
Yeah.
I will agree.
You don't outpower, you out finesse.
Yep. I concur.
Yes. I'll probably go with you on that one, just because I don't really have a horse in this race, and that logic is sound.
Well, I messed up on the AEW tag ones because I went for the obvious ones of Allie and Brandy, and I was done wrong. So I'm not following the obvious.
Fair enough. All right, so we got the Impact X Division Championship. Manic versus Chris Bay versus Rohit Raju. Who's going to take it?
America.
I'm
going to stick with Manic. I think Manic keeps it.
Okay. I will join you in that assumption, just because other than Chris Bay, I don't really have any person I'm really leaning towards.
Chris Bay is dashing, but I don't see him winning.
He's already had the belt before.
Yeah, that's the whole. That's the other reason. I remembered him.
He was the guy. He was the guy that Triple H called out by name as wanting him, or no, Cody called him out by name as wanting him in AEW, and they got immediately signed by friggin' Impact.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And then finally, we have the Impact Knockouts Championship: Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya Valkyrie. I'd like to see Valkyrie take it.
I think it'll be Purrazzo.
If they belt her, they're only going to belt Taya as a way to keep her with the company. Because I want to say her contract is coming up soon, and her husband is John Morrison. So, plus she's been featured in BTE. We've seen her multiple times in BTE. So if they belt her, I think it's only a way of keeping her. Deonna Purrazzo was their Wrestler of the Year for their awards in Impact. So I'm going with Deonna Purrazzo.
Okay. And isn't this event the reintroduction of the Knockout Tag Titles?
Yes, that's what that match is with Nevaeh and Havoc versus Steels and Hogan.
Okay. I forgot to mention that because I saw it on our notes here, and I was like, oh shit. I thought maybe they had announced it before, but I wanted to double check. And then the last little bit of Impact news here. Apparently, Impact and Jeff Jarrett have finally hashed shit out in terms of their little lawsuit there.
Yeah, the whole Global Force Wrestling thing that they had going on. Jeff Jarrett was suing because all those tapes from Global Force were recorded over, and all that content was gone. They went into mediation late last year, and the judge highly recommended for them to work shit out, basically. The judge urged both sides to settle instead of filing a new lawsuit and starting over, because they've already had it go to a what do you call it?
No contest.
Yeah, they had a mistrial a few months ago. So they didn't want to have to go through that again. So they settled on something. It was a short document. It just says that all the terms of the settlement have been met.
Jeff Jarrett gets a brand new cow pattern jacket.
He gets a brand new Hyundai Sonata.
New Hyundai Sonata. I was going to say that he gets a new loaded guitar.
Oh. So I got to update all our listeners on my Hyundai situation real quick.
Oh yes, you do.
So I take back anything negative I said about the Hyundai Corporation last week, because they are fixing my car as part of their recall. So
promotion.
Nothing out of pocket for me. So I'd like to welcome our newest sponsor, Hyundai.
To reference back to last week, John, he was speaking from a bad place, and now he's in a good place, and so he loves them again. So speaking of Korea is close to Japan, so I'm going to go talk about New Japan now.
Good segue.
Oh, yeah. So, as we know, last week we talked a lot about Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom was great. The big takeaway from Wrestle Kingdom and the fallout of Night 2 was Jay White's big monologue after the show, where he was just hamming it up, super weird, emotional, falling all over the place, pushing over tables, flipping out of chairs, dumping his water out, playing with his wrist tape, being a crybaby ass bitch, and saying he's done with New Japan if shit didn't want. He's like, I'll stay if they want me, but I'm done. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like watching Jay White wrestle. Motherfucker's great in the ring, talent beyond his years, but I said last week it was probably a work. News has arisen that Jay White is probably not leaving New Japan for quite some time. One rumor
For another
that
5 years.
Yeah, one rumor is that he signed a long-ass contract a couple years ago and he's still got a hot minute on it. Others being, well, it's fucking work. It's Jay's character to be a petulant child. It makes sense. I mean, hell, he's only a year removed from looking like he was fucking 12 years old in the ring wrestling Kenny Omega.
Oh, Jesus. When I met him in Japan, he didn't have any facial hair. He looked like he was fucking 12 years old.
I know.
He was much bigger than me, 12-year-old, but 12 years old.
Yeah.
Very baby-faced.
But I didn't think he was going anywhere to begin with. If he did, I'd be fucking surprised. And the only way he could is if wherever he's going has the money to probably buy out his contract. And I can only think of 2 places offhand that have that kind of money to throw around.
Mm-hmm. And they both have the letters E and W in them.
Yes.
But yeah, the word is that he signed a 7-year contract back in 2018. He said in an interview that he signed a 7-year contract, so that's got him locked down in New Japan for another 4+ years.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to see them do something. More than likely, I could see this being a way for them to either 1, work him out of Bullet Club, or 2, revamp his entire character. Yet again, speaking of Bullet Club related stuff, New Year's Dash happened last week, right after we recorded, I believe, or day of. Was it day of or day after we recorded last week?
You said you were going to watch it after we got off the podcast. So.
Oh, okay. So, I finally got around to watching it. Now that Wrestle Kingdom is a 2-night affair, New Year's Dash fucking sucks. Okay? New Year's Dash used to be awesome. Even last year's New Year's Dash was pretty good. This year's? No, it was not. It was nothing but exhibition tag matches of all the people that wrestled in Wrestle Kingdom. Nothing but tag matches. Other years they've had special singles matches and nice events to follow up from Wrestle Kingdom. This year, tag matches. That's all it fucking was. G.O.D.
Did anybody beat the shit out of Yano?
No, but Chase Owens did try to steal his trophy.
Good for Chase Owens.
Yeah, but yeah, if I remember correctly, that instance of Bullet Club lost. Because I believe there were 2 tag matches of Bullet Club. There was that one, which was Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale. I feel like I want to say it was Evil and Jay White, but part of me also thinks that was a different match. I'm getting it kind of caught in my head, mixed up in my head, but I believe that was the one against Chaos, basically. And, well, whichever tag match Jay White was in, they lost. Let me let me bring it up because it's bothering me now that it slipped my mind because I did not watch it. That
is some tomfuckery there.
Yeah. So here we go. Okay. So the rundown of this whole thing. There was one singles match. It was the very, very first match. It was Blue Justice versus Gabriel Kidd. So, old talent versus a young lion. Blue Justice won. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Young lions never win. Next, you had Suzuki and Doki versus Tiger Mask and Yuya Uemura. Suzuki Gotch-style pile driver that young lion in the next year.
Nice.
He destroyed him.
Wonderful.
Next, you had Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, and Great O'Khan versus Tenzan, Yotasuji, and Tenzan's other partner that he almost always has, Orange Blue Justice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, fucking the Empire wins, finally. And they were like, you thought we were buried after Wrestle Kingdom? Will Ospreay cut a promo. And he's like, you thought we were done? You thought we were weak? I'm like, we're strong. And then some bullshit like that, you know. And also, his new name is the Commonwealth Kingpin. Couldn't remember what it was? It's the Commonwealth Kingpin. That is his new moniker. He's no longer the aerial assassin. He is the Commonwealth Kingpin. To play off his new, I run a big bad faction now. Next, you had Bullet Club versus Suzuki-gun. You had pretty much the junior heavyweight tag team and the heavyweight tag team from each faction going up against each other. So you had El Phantasmo and Bone Soldier, and GOD versus Yoshinobu and Kanemaru and Desperado, and ZSJ and Taichi, the Dangerous Techers. GOD and company beat them. Lights out. It was good stuff. El Phantasmo being dirty ass, cheating heel El Phantasmo the whole time. It's marvelous. Marvelous. El Phantasmo is a fucking nut job. I love it. He's insane. Okay, so the one I was trying to remember. Okay,
Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima, yes. So, the one I was trying to remember before, I was correct. I was getting the two matches mixed up. But it was Chaos. It was Ishii, Goto, Yoshihashi, Yano, and Okada versus Jay White, Evil, Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, and the Tokyo Pimp, Yujiro Takahashi. That was the next match. And Chaos beat them. Jay White took the pin from Ishii.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah. And they kept playing up the fact that that also happened at G1 this year. Ishii beat him at G1 and knocked him out of contention. That's what cost him the briefcase. And then they had Ishii beat him at New Year's Dash after that whole meltdown at Wrestle Kingdom. So it almost makes me wonder if it was a legit meltdown, that this might be their sort of punishment for him.
Interesting.
I know. Could be any number of things. And then the last match of New Year's Dash was LIJ versus Master Wato, Kota Ibushi, Rocky Romero, Sho, and Tanahashi.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. LIJ took the W because they're definitely setting up for Sonata to look strong against Kota, because coming up in not a terribly long amount of time, coming up on the 30th of the month, we've got New Beginnings starting. So the start of all the new storylines in New Japan. So New Beginnings across 3 nights. The first night is in Nagoya on the 30th. You've got matches. You've got Shingo versus Tanahashi for the Never Openweight. You got Kojima versus Ospreay, Tenzan versus Okan, Ibushi, Honma, Sho, and Master Wato versus Sonata, Naito, Takahashi, or Hiromu rather, and Bushi. So we all know with that match that LIJ is probably going to win, because they've got they've got Coda teamed up with the Job Squad, with the exception of Show. And then you've got Okada and Okada. Fuck, I read Yano's name with Okada's at the same time. Okada and Yano versus Evil and the Tokyo Pimp. So basically, what I'm seeing with that match is they're gonna fuck our boys again.
Sounds like it. They fucking better not, though. Not the fucking Yano. Anyone but fucking Yano.
Well, they're gonna do it with Yano every time because you keep talking so loudly about how you don't like him.
They hear me across the pond.
Yes, they do, and it's the bigger pond too, the Pacific. Now,
Specific?
Pacific. I didn't say specific. I'm not trying to get specificity from you. I'm talking about the ocean. Pacific. Now, night 2, you've got the Junior Heavyweight Tag Championship going up for grabs. You've got Hiromu versus Sho. Now, they've been pushing Sho real hard. Grayson, you think he's going to drop it to Sho? Hiromu versus Sho from Roppongi 3K.
I could see it. Just because Hiromu's kind of been, he just came off as big wins.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see this as, okay, well, he had that.
Yeah.
Move on.
It's true. I mean, I
don't think he's in any real title picture, right?
I mean, Hiromu has the title right now, so this is like the beginning of this is their storyline reboot for 2021, basically.
Oh, no, he'll keep it, but it'll keep it going.
Okay.
It's not going to be right there. Well, the Show playing the hill?
I would assume Sho is probably going to be the underdog in this one. I'm not going to call him playing the heel at all because they're more or less, they're both faces right now.
How long has Hiromu had the belt?
Hiromu got the belt back at night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, he just got it.
He'll keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's going to be the long build. It's going to be like, here's this match. It'll be a tough fight victory. It'll be close, but he'll squeak out the win, and then it might be the way to push Sho heel, even though New Japan doesn't really follow that, but Rocky Romero? No, who's the head booker over there?
Head booker over there,
Was it Geto?
Yeah, I think it is Geto.
Yeah, Geto's very influenced by American wrestling, so I think it's going to be that, and then it's going to build, so you need a heel and a face, so this might be the way to turn Sho heel, or they could flip the switch, which I don't see.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to full-on turn Sho heel, because I know for a fact Roppongi 3K is going to come back as soon as Yo is back. I mean, his shoulder injury was super bad. But as soon as he's back in action, Roppongi 3K is going to be right back in the junior heavyweight title picture for the tag belts.
No doubt.
So I
So
don't.
And just with that little sentence alone, he doesn't need the belt.
All right. Fair enough. Next, you got God and the rematch against Dangerous Techers. So Tai Chi and ZSJ versus God trying to get their belt back. Or trying to get GOD's belts back. But they God.
Bullet Club for life.
Bullet Club for life. Gonna keep it that way. Then you've got Coda and Honma versus Sanada and Naito. I don't even know. It's just I want to bet against Coda every time because he's been tagged up with fucking nobodies. Then you've got another big ass chaos match: Okada, Yano, Goto, Ishii, and Yoshihashi versus Evil, Yujiro, Takahashi, Dick Togo wrestling, Taiji Ishimori, and El Phantasmo. Damn, what a match!
Dick Togo getting involved. Tie and tie.
I know. The spoiler, Dick Togo. I want that T-shirt, but I've got to get my El Phantasmo and fucking Kenta and Evil T-shirts before I can do that. But I'm going Bullet Club. Even though it's unlikely, I'm still going Bullet Club because it's fucking ELP. Fuck. Then you've got Bushi versus Master Wato. Bushi's going to win. Then you've got Suzuki-gun versus the Young Lions. They stack the deck against these Young Lions in this match. Listen to this. Suzuki, Desperado, and Kanemaru versus Yotasuji, Yuya Uemura, and Gabriel Kidd.
Good lord.
They're going to get stomped. They're going to get destroyed.
They're going to get destroyed.
Destroyed. And then the last night of New Beginnings, which we can predict on when we get closer to it, you've got the big build match, Kota versus Sonata for the title. Then you've got ZSJ, Taichi, and Doki versus G.O.D. and Jado. Then you've got Okada and Yano versus Evil and Dick Togo. Then you've got L.I.J. versus Honma Sho and Master Wato. Then again, Suzuki-gun versus, well, this time Suzuki-gun versus Bullet Club. It's Yujiro, Bone Soldier, and ELP. That's probably going to be a good one. And then the last match on the last night is Goto, Ishii, and Yoshihashi versus the Young Lions. That last match being the first match. But I think New Beginnings is going to be pretty good. I like New Japan the way they build. They build really well. But other than some more hinting from Kenta via Instagram posts about him wanting to go after Mox and it probably happening on U.S. soil, there's not much else coming out of New Japan. They're getting ready to kick off their new year of storylines, and other than New Year's Dash sucking pretty hard, I'm excited. But that is that, gentlemen. I got nothing else. Wild stuff. So, with that, thanks everybody for joining us for another episode. It was pretty slim pickings, but now it's time for the part that everyone enjoys. Our sponsor roundup.
You know, well, we already talked about one, Turquoise Chiclets. You know, they were pretty good. They pretty much just give you a boner.
Yep.
Want to please your woman? Get some chiclets. Mm-hmm. We got a new one, Justice Fruit Pies. They come in fully
my
flavors. God! Strawberry, lemon, and blueberry Justice Fruit Pies. Taste of justice in your mouth. That was recommended to me by my good friend Major Glory.
Of course.
So he's a good guy. Way better than Captain America.
Yeah. And then also we've got to shout out to his friends Val Hallen and the Infraggable Crunk.
Yes.
So yes.
Yeah. Good people right there. Good people. They live in a nice 3-bedroom apartment. Mm-hmm. At best.
Yeah.
We can't go an episode or not without saying Midwestern Cube Steak. Midwestern Cube Steak is your online shopping center for all things cube steak. Mm-hmm. Shipped to you from the Midwest.
A subsidiary of Oklahoma Meats.
Steak. If you want shitty steaks, Oklahoma Cube Steaks.
We're so bad at this.
I have no lead up. I should really just start typing these up. I kind of like winging it.
I know.
We got another sponsor, Type O Negative Blood. If you got it, good for you. O Negative Blood. We got our good friends over there at Circle Spot. They're pretty good. They like to reiterate that they are not to be confused with a grocery chain. They're in fact just your new smart way of making payments online, utilizing your cell phone.
I think one day we really need to make up some fake wrestling apparel sponsors or stuff like Billy Bob's Ring Ropes, guaranteed not to do a Keith Lee when you're in a pinch.
Waffles and tire iron.
Waffles and tire irons. Kayfabe cocktail.
Brought to you by Tron Titan for all your big screen needs.
Yeah. Tron Titans. Yep.
But yeah, that's about it. I didn't really get a good time to come up with some fun ones, but you know, Justice fruit pies, they're delicious.
Yes.
If you randomly find them, buy me some, because that's a novelty.
Oh yeah. And the biggest thanks of all goes out to our boy Falcon and the Polar. Give them a listen, give them a follow. They good people.
Smash that fucking like button.
Oh god, he did the thing that all the nerds do on the internet.
Yeah, smash it. Fucking smash it.
Just click it if you want.
Hey there, listeners! Be sure to hit the subscribe bell and the link button, as well as follow me on Patreon and send me money, and hit like and leave a comment.
All right, gentle people. Thank you once again for listening to another riveting, big, goal, huge episode of Post to Post Wrestling with the Brothers of Discussion, Grayson and Will. Weatherman, Alex Weatherman, here again, and myself, Drummer John, the biggest fucking hater of all things Eddie Kingston, Yano, and D'Lo Brown. Fuck you all. I'm out of here. Peace.
Biscuits and gravy.
That was John's best exit ever. It nailed his character from top to bottom.